Hare Krishna. Continuing with our series of Science of the Soul. Today we will know who is the real knower of Vedanta. If you really want to test who is really a sadhu and who is real knower of Vedanta, ask him one question. The soul has form or the body has form? If somebody says the body has form, that means he doesn't know Vedanta. And then somebody says soul has form, that means he is the real knower of Vedanta. Now I will show you a small demonstration. Suppose if I do like this and I ask the form belongs to what, then naturally we will see this form belongs to my hand behind the kurta. If I take it out, there is no form. In the same way, as long as soul is there in this body and this particular element's matter gets a particular form, as soon as the soul leaves the body, this body becomes decomposed, loses its form. That means common sense shows logically that the form belongs to the soul, not to the body. So in the material world nowadays, even in modern science and everywhere, people think that God has no form, the soul has no form, matter has form, like that. But actually, the God has form, and because we are made after God, so we are also having a form. The soul has form, God has form. So another interesting point regarding the science of the soul is some more differences between the spirit and matter, the soul and the body. The soul is characterized by three qualities. One is consciousness, another is individuality, and third one is intentionality. Consciousness I have already explained. So what is individuality? For example, suppose there are two identical Maruti Ertiga cars, the same model, the same color. They are being driven and they are stopped at the traffic junction. When the green signal was shown, one car may turn left, another car may turn right. Because even the cars are identical, the drivers are different. In the same way, all our bodies are made of the same elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego. But all our activities, all our looks, they are different from everyone else, because in each body there is an individual soul. So that is why it is mentioned in Upanishads that Sankhyatito hi Chitkana. The spiritual atom is called, our souls are compared to atomic spiritual particles, and Sankhyatita means they are unlimited in numbers. So suppose if I give $1 million to a group of people and I ask, how are you going to spend? Each one of them will answer differently, that I will spend on charity, another person say I will purchase a flat. Like this each person, because each person has his own desires. So that is why each soul is characterized by individuality, and that individuality is shown in having different desires. And then according to the desires of the soul, a particular body, a particular type of body is given to the soul. Another difference is intentionality. So intentionality means, I will give another example. Suppose I am in a room, then I have a football in my hands, then I kick out that football out of the room. Then after some time I myself go out of the room. The activity of going out with the ball and myself are same, but the ball doesn't know that it is going out, but I know that I am going out. So I have the intentionality to go out of the room. So that is why, so the modern scientists, they say that their laws of nature, they apply universally on everybody, but actually it is not a fact. So take for example, Newton's laws of gravitation. So he says, he observed when an apple is thrown from the top, it falls down. So that is gravitational pull. But actually this law doesn't apply everywhere and on every person. For example, if you drop a bird, it will fly. So if you drop a person, he may catch a balcony or something, he may not fall. So this intentionality is there in the soul, and it is represented by different individual actions. So in the same way, the consciousness that is present in each body is limited to spread of to that particular body. So I feel I experience the pains and pleasures of my entire body, but I don't experience the pains and pleasures of other person's body, because the soul in that body is different, and the consciousness of that soul is limited to that body. Like that, in each and every body there is one particular soul and consciousness is there, and but the consciousness of the super soul, super consciousness, is present in every body. So this is how we should understand the science of the soul. So what are the great benefits of understanding the science of the soul? Because we will, if we understand the science of the soul, then we will become fearless of death. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.